Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to a new video of Vlogmas. Today, I thought it'd be a really cool segment to react to my Spotify Wrapped in front of my Christmas tree. I thought it'd be a really cool opportunity to show you guys what music I've been listening to and also what are my takes on the 2024 top albums. Okay, your Spotify 2024 Wrapped is here. Also, we're doing this in front of a Christmas tree. Get it? Because Spotify Wrapped Christmas. All right, anyways, it's that time of year again. Wrapped's ready. Are you? Yeah, I am. Life moves fast. 69. Oh, that puts you top 3%. Damn, I listen to a lot of music. Biggest listening day was July 31st with 986 minutes. Where did I find the time? I don't know, man. This song I listen to every Thursday. Down bad. 6959 songs. Okay, torture makes sense. Wow. Top song was Down. I'm really down bad right now, guys. Oh my God, 79 times starting the day that it dropped. While it's not a competition, there is a leaderboard. Top songs, Down Bad, Birds of a Feather, State Lines, Novo Armo, Isn't That Enough, I Guess by Lizzie McAlpine. Interesting. Honestly, this is so interesting for me. Like, I understand Down Bad, for sure. Birds of a Feather, on one hand, I get it. It is like such a great song. I didn't expect me to be listening to it that much, to be honest. I'll be fair. State Lines, though, I thought that was my song for 2023. I guess it makes sense because it kind of overlapped. I was really depressed, and this song, State Lines by Novo Armor, got me through a lot of grievances. Isn't That Enough? I wake up to that song every day. I used to wake up to the song Sunflower, Volume 6 by Harry Styles. But now I wake up to this song because I feel like it's like a really calming way to just remind me that like everything is enough, you know, like the life that I live. I Guess is also such a great song. I think it just kind of threw me back that Birds of a Feather was like that high as my number 2 song. But makes sense. It's such a great song. You spent 5,722 minutes listening to podcasts this year. Oh God, here we go. It's gonna be embarrassing. Top podcast topic was fitness and health. Yes! Okay, now this is my chance to really shine. We Can Do Hard Things is the best podcast out there. I mean, there are a lot of other, my top podcasts include We Can Do Hard Things and the Man Enough podcast and Matthew Hussey's podcast too. But I also love Sleep Time, Sleep Meditations with Nikki Sutton, Team Deacons, gotta love them too. Script Notes, it's always so nice to like hear about different creatives and how their processes are. And I love John August and Craig Mazin. Up First from NPR is also a really nice podcast because they give me the rundown on the news, and I love that. You've changed, and so has your listening. Really? Let's look at your 2024 music evolution. Okay. April was your unwinding slow dance indie folk phase. You were really into artists like Lizzie McAlpine, Nova Arbour, and the Paper Kites. Okay, yeah. June was your pumpkin spice Vogue pop season. You were all about artists like Taylor Swift, Charlie XCX, and Sabrina Carpenter. Of course, who wasn't? July was your theatrical synthesizer soundtrack moment. You listened to 2,294 artists. Yes, girl! She does it again for the 80th time in a row. Taylor Swift is your top artist of the year. Your longest listening streak was 43 days. Damn, she's been living in my mind rent-free like that. She should though. Oh my God, Taylor, you're a top 1% fan and you spent 8,774 minutes together. And we're about to spend an entire era, so you overachiever. Thank you. Who else got a lot of play? Big reveal in 3, 2, 1. Top artists, whoa! Taylor Swift, Lizzie McAlpine, Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish, and Shawn Mendes. Not surprised though, honestly. Oh my God. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, why are they playing Camila Cabello when she's not even here? I love it, 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 I love it. Ooh. Let's take a look at my top songs of 2024. Okay, so number 6 goes to Save Me by Maud Latour, which makes sense. Honestly, I listen to that song all the time because it's actually like a little too on the nose with my actual life. When you listen to the lyrics, I've lived through that experience and it's kind of strange. And I also love that song so much because it is so relatable. I'm Gonna Get You Back, that makes sense. It's Not Your Fault, also love. Grady, Good Luck Babe. To be honest, I will say, like, I love Chapel Roan and I love her music. Good Luck Babe, though, however, is a song that was pushed heavily on my algorithm to an unfair point where it wasn't up to me to determine that I like the song. It was Spotify's decision to tell me that I like this song. And I honestly was getting a little bit annoyed by hearing the song because it wasn't my choice to listen to it. But I digress. 360, yes, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Fracture, yes, that song is really good too. It's like an instrumental song. All Falls Down, yes. For Crying Out Loud, yes. Fortnite Lunch, Please, 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 yes. We Can't Be Friends, also such a great song. The One, Taylor Swift, Melody. This song is by Julian Kenji, who's a friend who lives out here in San Francisco, or who's from San Francisco. He lives in LA now. And I actually shot his visualizer, his vertical visualizer that will be coming out soon for the song Melody. Look at That Woman, Role Model, Graveyard Keeper by Chase Sullivan, also shot his music video. So it's so cool to see that the artists I listen to genuinely are the artists that I'm working with, you know, and I hope that one day more of these artists that I'm listening to will be there. But there's Fresh Out the Slammer, Come Down Soon, Close to You, love that song. Excited to see you too, Gracie, by the way. Opening, that's from Sometimes I Think About Dying. So Long London, Evergreen, I Love You, I'm Sorry. 13494 is the intro for Novo's other song, State Lines. Now That We Don't Talk, yes, I've been going through it. Circles, Love You, Joshua. Also, Conan Gray, Love You. Winner, Chef's Kiss. I think that's one of my favorite songs. 20 Somethings is such a great song by Camila Cabello. If you do not like the album CXOXO, at least give 20 Somethings a listen because I think that is by far one of her best songs out there. Guilty as Sin, yes. Supercuts, yes, Lord. More Charlie from Apple. Changed by Big Thief was a song that was introduced to me by my friend Kai, and that song is so beautiful. I gotta love Adrian Linker. But Daddy, I Love Him, so good. Calling After Me. Wallows, I love it. Yes, Focus. Torture Post Department, Home. That song came to me and it was like a song of hope that brought an era of hope for me. Super Glue, love that song. New Home, also really peaceful song. Peter, Movie Star. Peter, I actually know how to play on piano. Lonely Dancers by Conan Gray is also a great song. Pink Pony Club made me very emotional when I saw Chapel Roan live. I love her and I love her music. Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, We Might Be Falling in Love, So Far Gone, Black Dog, Never Ending Song, yes, 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 yes. More Chase Sullivan, yes. More Grady, yes. More Shawn Mendes, yes. Charlie, I like Sabrina's old album too. Vicious is such a great song, by the way. Boy Genius, I'm a little triggered by them because my ex loved Boy Genius. Camila Cabello, yes. BOAT, also a banger. All American Bitch, yes. Olivia, I'm surprised that there isn't more Olivia Rodrigo, but I digress. Death by a Thousand Cuts, let's go. They ask the traffic lights if it'll be all right, and they say, I don't know. More Lizzie McAlpine, more Chase Sullivan, gotta love that. Some Joji, gotta get that bejeweled. Some more Maud Latour, yes. More Billy, more Joe, and Vampire Weekend, yes. Connect, I love that song. That's my favorite Vampire Weekend song. The one thing that I am personally disappointed in myself. So I'm wearing this shirt, it says Circles. Mac Miller is like my top 3 artists. It is Taylor Swift, Shawn Mendes, Mac Miller. Those are my trifecta of who I am as a person. Like, I know I'm crazy because I love Taylor Swift and I love Shawn Mendes. I got them pop boys, girlies out there. But I think Mac Miller adds that element of balance to my life. That is why I love him. And I feel like he completes that trifecta of my favorite artists. And, you know, there are also a lot of other artists out there that I absolutely love. But those 3 I really love. And I honestly am a bit disappointed in myself for not listening to that much Mac Miller this year. Surprising. I even listened to his album today, this morning, when I was in the car with my mom. So yeah, maybe it's because I kind of anticipated Spotify Wrapped was coming and I was like, I gotta change my algorithm. It's already too late though. Can't do anything about it. Okay, so now we're on the portion of the video where I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a rundown on my top favorite albums of the year, since it is coming to an end soon. Since I've been making a ton of album reactions this year, this is my first year of releasing all these album reactions, and it's really amazing to be able to have a platform to do it, even though not many people watch them. It was just really fun to just be able to do it and be with friends or just be alone and have that little time capsule for myself on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen any of my album reactions, please go check it out. I'll link it down below in the descriptions of a whole playlist where you can see me react to a ton of albums and freak out at many mean moments in time of crazy album moments. But these are some of my 2024 favorite albums. And again, these are my own opinions, so please take that with a grain of salt. One of the albums I want to talk about is Cherry Part 2. This is an album by Grady, and I really like Grady's previous albums. He does a lot of experimentation with the way that the entire album flows from start to end, and it has kind of like a storyline. Cherry Part 2 starts out with the song Cherry Rides Share Services. In that song, he basically hops into his friend's car and is like, yo, I just finished the album. Do you want to hear it? And then they kind of just go straight into it. And it's super casual the way that like Grady like markets himself as. And I really like that. But then it kind of gets into a bit more of a deeper vibe, from really fun, hanging out, and the album cover is him naked. So, but there's this one song on it called "It's Not Your Fault!" exclamation mark. And that song to me has been super emotional because there's been a lot of moments of hardships where I've kind of blamed myself because I am very hard on myself and I'm very critical. I'm the most critical person and most judgmental, my harshest critic. And the song "It's Not Your Fault" takes homage to the movie Good Will Hunting, where he goes, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." When I am faced with tons of hard stress, this song is so beautiful. The chorus goes, "Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." I used some of his songs in my latest main YouTube channel video called "This is a Testament of My Growth." And I just think that this album is highly underrated and has a lot of highs and lows, and also just moments of just calm stillness. And I just absolutely love it, and I highly recommend you check it out. The other album is The Tortured Poets Department. I know this one's gonna get a lot of flack for the non-Swifties out there, but for the Swifties who understand, thank you for understanding. The Tortured Poets Department, I think, is one of Taylor Swift's most controversial albums because of the commercial success that she's had with all of her other albums and how disliked that this album is because it is so long. And to be fair, I understand where other people are coming from. However, I personally think that The Tortured Poets Department perfectly encapsulates this vibe and story and narrative that she's trying to tell. And I, going through a breakup, like really could understand like the synths and the beats of it just feeling like something is never ending. It feels like staying up for midnights, but also having like these fantasies and dreams about a lover and imagining this idea of someone and really wanting this relationship to really work out. And I can see like what Taylor Swift has been going through. You know, it's rumored that she was out of her 6-year relationship and then got into a very short, brief situationship with someone, and then finally ended up with Travis Kelce, who's her now boyfriend. And that whole journey, I feel like the Tortured Poets department was something that deserved to be released at the time, because it showed her arc of not only performing on stage and having to show face for that, but also it showed like what she was going through with mourning the loss of a lover and getting into a new relationship and really wanting it to work, and realizing that like this was not the right relationship, and kind of taking that miracle move on drug and learning how to like truly move on her own. And then the anthology really added more depth into it. I think the song Peter is so beautiful. It references, you know, Peter and Wendy, Peter losing Wendy, and like wanting to grow up and coming back together and never coming back. And it's just like really heartbreaking. They take what Taylor Swift has built in her entire Eras Tour career of all these albums and mashes it all up into a new modern album that is what I would like to call the Eras album, if that makes sense. Like it has elements of Fearless, of Folklore, of Evermore, Speak Now. Like you see all parts of it. I'm not sure if 1989 is really in there. The Reputation's in there, you know, Lover's in there. I think 1989 is there, you know. Everything just, I feel like maybe it isn't for the masses because it isn't commercial, because commercial is, we see it as like something that is short and easily digestible. But this one, you got to listen to the album's title, The Tortured Poets. Like obviously the lyrics really matter in this one, if not in any other album, you know. But this one especially, the lyrics are very important for telling the story. You might say, oh, Jack Antonoff's like synth beats are like overly repetitive. That's what an album is, okay? Like it's not supposed to be like every song sounds completely different. You can take a song from the Tortured Poets department and compare it to another, and you can tell that they're two very distinct songs. However, there's an underlying like sonic wave of it being in the same album, which is why they're all put into one thing. And I really think that the narrative of it is really great. The other one I want to talk about is Brat. Obviously, we've all had a Brat summer and a Brat year. This album just shot to success. Such a beautiful album that encapsulates the messy party girl era that we've all been through. And to me, like Brat is more than just being a party freak or party animal, you know? It's just being human. Like we go through the highs and we go through the lows, and life gets crazy sometimes, and then we also have to take a step back and just like be sad for a little bit and be vulnerable. And that is exactly what Charli XCX does in her album. And I really like the way that she commentates and responds to the new life that she's living with the success of Brat, and taking that into consideration for the remix album. I also love the marketing. I think Brat, as Charli says, is her most successful campaign marketing project. And because marketing is so important in this day and age, Brat deserves the hype and the love that it has right now. Also, Brat is currently my most successful album reaction video. So I know that a lot of people loved it and I really enjoyed it. I used to watch it all the time. I sometimes still do watch it on my own free time. Gotta love that. So gotta put that shout out there and give praise to Charli. I saw her live and it was so amazing to be on the Sweat Tour and just be partying up in there right after the release of the remix album too. So that was really beautiful. Love you, Charlie. Another album I want to talk about is Older by Lizzie McAlpine. This album was so beautifully authentic and just went through so many elements of storytelling. And, you know, it took what Lizzie McAlpine's last album, 5 Seconds Flat, which to me was a success. But Lizzie was like, no, 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 this is not even like an ounce of like who I really am. And decided to strip everything back and like redo her album and show that like this new version of her was more authentic. And I really loved the way that she shows off this album. It's not trying to prove anything to anyone. It's just her like being fully authentically herself. Now I was trying to do an album reaction video to the deluxe album, but I never ended up finishing that one. And I've been too scared to actually go through the rest of the deluxe songs, even though I know I'm going to love it. And I think I've been saving it up for a time where it was like appropriate to finally finish that. But we'll see. I at first started off with really loving the song All Falls Down. It sounds like a Rex Orange County song. And I love Rex Orange County. I just saw him live. He was the last concert I went to. However, like her other songs really started to grow on me, like Calm Down Soon, and especially I Guess. Like those songs really like hit those like heartstrings and those emotional highs in my life. And just growing up and understanding that, you know, life isn't always fair. And it kind of reminds me of the movie Remember Me, which I just talked about in my last video. So some other shout outs that I want to give before I give my last final album recommendation. These are kind of like, consider them as honorable mentions. I want to give a shout out to Sean by Shawn Mendes. Love you, Sean. That album is just full of peace, authenticity. Same thing as what I said about Lizzie McAlpine's album. I think For What's Worse by Chase Sullivan, go check it out. The EP just dropped this year too, and it comes along with a visual EP that I had the privilege of being a producer, director of photography, co-director, and editor on. Please go check it out. Like, that film means everything to me. It's like, I've always wanted to make a visual EP, and I'll talk more in depth about it in a future video. But for now, please go stream For What's Worse. It's something I genuinely listen to on my own free time. And I have never been more excited to like share a piece of art of someone's music videos that I personally enjoy on my own time. I want to work with more artists like that, and that's what I've been doing. So I'm really glad that this like opened so many gateways and doors for my career as like working with other artists. For Crying Out Loud, also really beautiful album. Another album I want to highly recommend if you have been very hesitant about Camila Cabello is CXOXO Magic City Edition, because the deluxe songs that she adds, which is Baby Pink, Come Show Me, Can Friends Kiss, and Godspeed, those songs really complete the entire full circle of this whole narrative. I'm very sad that CXOXO did not get the attention that it truly deserved, especially with the latest songs that dropped from the deluxe version, because those additional songs are bangers. Sugar Water, Maud Latour, such a freaking great album. I listen to it to hype myself up. I listen to it to cry myself to sleep. I listen to it to be nostalgic about life. I listen to it in the shower. I listened to it. The first song in the morning today was 7 Interlude. That's how I wanted to wake up today. And then I also listened to it in the car on the way to the gym. So I love that album with all of my heart. Go check it out. Maud Latour is so great. Shout out Toby for recommending it to me. Toby is also my friend who reacted with me to the Tortured Poets department. So shout out Toby. Thank you for all your recommendations, because he's given me so many recommendations for songs that have changed my life, including Lizzie McAlpine, actually. Okay, I think I'm just going down a list of all these really great albums, but Kansas Anymore, such a great album too. Love You, Role Model. I love everything that you've been working on. The Golden Years, also very underrated. I think Joshua Bassett deserves more attention for his music. I especially love the song Cherry Blossom and Circles. Those two songs being put right next to each other, back to back, are like the perfect pairings for bangers. And I just loved it so much, watching it, hearing it. Everything that you do, Joshua, I think you and I would be really great friends. So just putting that out there into the world. Okay, so this album that I want to talk about is one that I feel like is so underrated, and I've recommended it to a lot of my friends, and they came back to me and they're like, actually, I totally get what you mean. Like, this album's actually kind of fire. And the most underrated album of the year goes to Only God Was Above Us by Vampire Weekend. And I absolutely love this album. Now, you don't have to be a Vampire Weekend fan or even a mega fan to have to love this album, because I think this album is just, it perfectly encapsulates like just the chaos of life and also just the sadness of the world, but also ends on a really good note. I think every song on this album has its own standalone moment, but put together in an album, it like flows completely and perfectly. And you know, there's a song at the end, the very last song is called Hope, and it's a 7-minute long song. And you're like, wow, when you listen to it just by listening to the song solely, just individually, you're like, this is such a great song. But then when you put it at the end of the album, it just has this really beautiful element that kind of ties everything together. And the message is so beautiful. The song Hope goes, I hope you let it go. And it takes this piano and it's so beautifully, like, I hear it, I hear the melody goes, and that kind of melody like plays in different tempos throughout the album. In Connect, which is my personal favorite song, it used to be Hope. That was like initial favorite, and then Connect became another one of mine, where it just feels like you're just going crazy, you know, and you're just wanting to connect so badly with people. And then Capricorn, I also love. I've had a lot of experience with Capricorn people, and it just perfectly encapsulates what a Capricorn is. And you kind of feel for them, and you also are like, I kind of get why you're like the way you are. You know, Capricorn, what you gonna do about it, you know? That is my 2024 Spotify Wrapped and my favorite albums of the year. I know it's a little bit jumbled, but I hope you learned a little bit of something. And if you didn't learn anything and you just are looking for one takeaway, I'd say go listen to Vampire Weekend's God Was Only Above Us. I said that wrong. It's Only God Was Above Us. Anyways, go check that out. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more Vlogmas content. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.